Hi everybody, it's Diana with stampingwithdie.com, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. And this is Whatcha Makin Wednesdays. And I know I talked about yesterday showing some dollar spot? I can't even think. Dollar Tree? Dollar something. But instead, before I put away my super cute class that was in August, it's the Measure of Love, I want to show, do one of the cards from that class because I thought it turned out really, really, really cute. And so that's what I'm going to do. Because, hey, I just want to show it. You know when you do something that might not be intended for, and it turns out so cute, so I want to show that. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I will revisit the dollar store stuff another day. So if you are new to my channel, make sure you always say hi. Make sure you let me know where you're coming from. The chat is off to the side. If you don't see the chat, then you're watching the replay. And then please leave a comment down below if you have any questions or just comments in general. I love to see where people are coming from. It is truly a small world, that is for sure. I know I did a workshop years and years ago, and one of the ladies at the workshop, she said, "Are you from Canada?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I mean, I don't think I have a Canadian accent, maybe certain words, but anyways. And I said, "Yeah," and then she goes, "Where are you from?" And I mean, I don't live in Canada anymore, but and for some reason, like usually when somebody would ask where I was from in Canada, I would say like London or Toronto, thinking people would have heard from those places, right? Over like the small town that, I went to school in. And she said, "Where did you go to school? Where are you from?" And I said, "I went to school in Strathroy." And she goes, "My husband went to that school." And I was like, oh my gosh, like what a small world. So it truly is. So I love the connections that we make in our stamping community here. And so that's why I always like you to tell me where you're from. And I don't always remember, right? I have the worst memory, I swear. So before I blabber on too much, let me turn the phone around so we can get started on this super cute card today. All right, so hold on a second. All right, flip the camera. Very good. So I have my stamps all over my desk. And it's September. It is September the 1st, 2021. So that means we have a new hostess code. So this is the hostess code for September. And like I always say, this is only if you are placing an order that is less than $150 before tax and shipping. Because if you are ordering more than $150, and it's easy to do, especially during celebration, right? Where you're getting extra goodies when you order, then you don't want to use my code so that you'll get some hostess free stuff. If you are in one of my stamp clubs, you have your own special code, so you won't use this one either. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I also have a new incentive, and I'm going to explain this better in another video, because I'm going to start offering two kind of incentives. And I always have reward points if you order $50 before tax and shipping. But I have an incentive, and that's if you order $75 before tax and shipping. And this month is going to be the round and square brads. But I'm also going to be offering 3 card guts from the month before, popular videos that I did in YouTube. And like I said, I will explain that a little bit more. But some people like, embellishments, and some people love the card guts. I know when I would do classes and I would put card guts in the door prize basket, those card guts went first. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try that. So like I said, I will come back maybe tomorrow and do a video and explain that a little bit better and show you the card guts that I'm talking about that you will be earning in September. Okay, so let's get started with the super cute card. the stamp set that I'm going to be using is the Measure of Love, and this is adorable. It is so vintage and shabby looking, and that's just, I love that about it. And I like cupcakes. I like chocolate. And I even have a couple old scales around the house that I have in my decor. So I just had to get this set. All right, so let me show you the pieces that we are using. These are all the pieces for this fun card. All right, so the card base is Flirty Flamingo. Now the products that I'm using in the supplies, they will be below the video, and it takes a little bit sometimes for the video to process, and I'll also be putting them on my blog, so you'll be able to see it there as well. Just give it, give it a little bit of time for it to process and generate and all that good stuff. Okay, so we have some fun DSPs. So the DSP that I'm using is from the Hostess set, and that's that Pattern Party, but I'm also using the Sweet Symmetry. It is such a fun, shabby, vintagey looking DSP. I'm going to be using that as well. And I also did In Good Taste, because this is that neat DSP, and you will see it a lot in my photos when I take pictures of the cards. I have a bunch of it because it doesn't reflect like the light, so it's perfect for when you take photos. And I loved this because when the first time I saw this elegant tag, it's hard to see, let me flip it this way, I immediately thought of a cutting board. So that's what I did. I punched out this paper, and I'm going to sneeze again today. I think the allergies are bothering me. Okay, so I punched out this fun little piece. So now, to me, this looks like a fancy cutting board. So we're going to put that on the card as well. All right, so let me get my pieces here. So while we are jibber-jabbering, I'm going to stamp my scale. Oh, my crazy nose. All right, so I'm going to stamp my scale. I am going to be coloring with the blends, so I'm going to be using my Memento pad, and we're going to trim this out. So we have our cute little scale, like that. I also want, there are these sweet little cherries, and I want some of those as well. I'm going to stamp them on this same paper because we're just going to cut them out. So we have our cute cherries, and this is with Poppy Parade. And then we have to put the stems on our cherries, right? And they were the Granny Apple. Where are my stems? I'm looking around. Make sure I don't put them upside down. All right, I love the photopolymer, especially if you're trying to line things up, if you're trying to stamp in a certain area. All right, so we're going to put our little, and I should have my foam pad underneath. All right, looks good. Okay, where is it? Here it is. My little mouse pad. All right, and then this is what my greeting's going to go on. And it's kind of skinny, so I'm just giving it just a little bend, just gently with my fingers, so it will lay flat and not kind of bow up. All right, now the greeting is, where's my greeting? Right here. You more than measure up. So that's what's going to go on my little strip of paper. And again, with the photopolymer, you can see where you're stamping. Right. And then, while I have my ink pad open, okay, we're going to let that dry. While I have my ink pad open, I want to bring over one of my pieces, and that's going to go on the inside with these two pieces of DSP, because these are the DSP that I'm using on the front of the card. So I want to put them on the inside of the card as well just to tie the two together. And I love the look of this together. Okay, so then we're going to put this on here. Oh, I apologize for my nose. Oh my gosh. I don't go anywhere, so I'm sure I don't have a cold. Where would I get a cold from? All right, so I think it's just allergies. We've just had such a weird fall. I don't even know, spring really. I don't think fall is in Arizona yet. A lot of rain and wind, so we even had more rain last night. I don't know if we're getting any more today, but so it's just kicked up. So many weeds. Oh my gosh, poor Jeff. I swear every weekend he's out there with the weed whipper. And then he weed whips so long that when he's comes in from doing all that, I got fuzz on my love. Hang on a minute. That's what I have my Scotch tape for. You get little stuff, just take your Scotch tape and it will pull off any little bits of fuzz. All right. But he will be shaking. Like he will just like shake. We even like went to the doctor one time and we were like thought he was getting Parkinson's or something. And then, you know, the doctor talked to him about like, well, when does this happen and all that kind of stuff. And it's when he does things that vibrate, you know, like the weed whipper vibrates when he's out there using the one of his tools, you know, and then it just makes him keep that wiggly, you know, like he just keeps wiggling. And then the doctor said it's just, I forget what it's called. So we were like, well, at least it wasn't anything serious. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to color our little scale. And I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo in the Going Gray because those are the colors that are in the DSP and the cardstock. So I just want them to coordinate. So we have our Gray Granite. Did I say Going Gray? I might have said Going Gray, but it's Gray Granite. We don't have Going Gray anymore. Although, aren't we all going gray? All right. So this is just Gray Granite Light. And then I'm also going to go around the outside of my dial or whatever, the measuring thing on my scale. Let's see, am I going to color it all the way in? Let's color it all the way in. So I'm just going to go around and around and make my circle get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So again, this is light. And I am going to put the little pointy thing. I'm just going to color it first. And we'll add the pointy dial measure thing after. All right, so that was a light Gray Granite. And then this is the dark. So we'll just put a little bit under here. And a little bit here. And then I'm going to put just a tad here. And a tad here. All right. And if you want to knock down those edges, just take your light and just come from the edge up into it. And then you'll just kind of take away that hard edge if you don't want to see that hard edge. All right. Then we're going to color our cute little scale with the Flirty Flamingo. I think all the scales that I have in the house are all white. And then they have a little bit of other color, you know, from a sticker or whatever. But I have some old granite pieces that are kind of like soft sky. Remember we had soft sky? It's a little bit softer than Pool Party. And I love that shabby vintagey blue. So this would be cute with the Pool Party too. But I am picking these colors because they go with the DSP. And that Sweet Symmetry DSP, if you have not looked at it in the catalog, it was kind of, what do you call it, a sleeper? When something, you don't see it right at the beginning, and then, like those movies, right? That they don't think are going to be popular, and then all of a sudden, everybody's going to see it. And I think that is the same thing with the Sweet Symmetry DSP. I didn't really look at it at first. I was just kind of like, okay, you know, whatever. And then Stampin' Up! Did and what's so cool about being a demonstrator is they do these fun things in Facebook, and they did a one night, a bunch of cards, and they used that DSP, and I totally fell in love with it, and I love it ever since. So I hope you are the same way when you see it used, that you go, oh my gosh, I totally didn't pay attention to that paper. All right, so that should be good and dry. So now we're going to stamp our little, that I don't even know what it is. It's whatever that dial thing is. All right. Now let me get my grid sheet right, because I got that colored all so cute. I want to make sure that this is good. Yes, it's good to go, good to go. So then we just have to decide how much pound do we want on there. That looks like a good poundage. All right. Then I do believe I am done. No, I'm not either. We also have some bowls. I forgot about my bowls. All right, so these little pieces of cardstock or DSP are going to be the bowls that are also going to be going on my shelf. And we're going to use the bowl that is just a line. Like it's like there's one that's solid that gives you a picture, and then there's the line bowl. So this is just the line bowl, or whatever you want to call it. So this one's going to be striped, cute bowl. We have a fun little polka dot bowl. And then this cute little one here. Now this one, I'm going to put some hearts on it. So now that I closed my Poppy Praise pad, let me get it opened up. So there's these cute little hearts. Look at these little hearts. So I'm going to ink that up with the Poppy Parade, and we are just going to put some cute little hearts on this bowl so it's decorated on the side. Isn't that cute? So doesn't that remind you of, oh my gosh, what was it? Not Korean, that's a floor, isn't it? I can't think. What was that kind of pottery, or the dishes that were Corel? Was it Corel? All right. I also want to do, where is my grid sheet? Because I forgot about the cupcake. I'm going to put on the inside. So I'm just going to stamp the bottom of the cupcake right along here, because we're going to cut this out. All right. And the cupcakes actually have, they're like two-step stamping. And you can color them with your blends if you want. But, let me put the lid on my pad. But they actually have, look how cute this is. So it actually has the top and the bottom, so you don't have to color them. You can use ink. So I'm going to use crumb cake for the bottom of my cupcake. So we have a nice chocolate cupcake. Oh my gosh. And then our Flirty Flamingo icing. Make sure that's good and inked. All right, so our Flirty Flamingo. Yay! So adorable. Now you could put Wink Estella on there if you wanted. The fine tip glue pen is actually like a, remember when we used to have Crystal Effects? Basically works the same way as Crystal Effects. All right, so let's get trimming this stuff out. I don't need that anymore. All right. I don't want to lose my place of what I'm doing here. All right. So we have our fun little scale. So we're just going to fussy cut that out. It doesn't take a whole long time. It's nice, big image. Not a lot of nooks and crannies to cut out. I know we all wish, oh, I wish there was a die. But sometimes it's nice to just sit with your scissors and cut. You can take your scissors anywhere. Well, maybe not anywhere. I don't know if you can take them on a plane, but if you're sitting at home on the couch watching TV, you can just sit and cut. I know the Penguin Place DSP has all those cute little images, and that is perfect DSP to sit and trim. If you were going to make a bunch of these cards, it would be the same idea. So if you had your die, you know, you'd take your little machine in there, but to me this is just, I know Jeff would appreciate me just sitting and cutting quietly with scissors over cranking a machine. All right. So I have already cut out a little cupcake, so I didn't have to cut that one out. And then this right here, we're going to cut out our little cherries. And I always say when I'm cutting, I hold the scissors plain. I just squeeze the scissors and then I move this piece of paper. So we know we have to wiggle it around a little bit to get around all those stems. But this hand, my right hand is just squeezing the scissors while the left hand is moving that paper. So it's a lot easier to cut. And you also want to have a nice sharp pair of paper snips too. All right, so now when we're cutting down here, so let me show you a little trick. So we have our cute little cherries, but when we're cutting here, we want to go like this, and then we want to go like this. Because we want to give our cherries some paper that will actually be able to be glued behind the bowl. So let's cut our bowls out. And this is just DSP, so this cuts even quicker. Cut, cut, cut. All right. So we're going to use a lot of dimensionals on this card too. Just because it is too adorable. And it's basically you're making a scene. So this would be a fun card to actually frame and put in the kitchen, right? You could do like a, you can get those frames that are like a shadow box frame or whatever they are. So it gives whatever you're putting inside the frame some space. And this card would be perfect for that. The glass would still protect it, especially if you're putting it in the kitchen, right? It would protect it from getting, you know, grease on it or whatever. But especially if you know somebody that they have their kitchen decorated like that, wouldn't that be a cute little handmade gift to give them? Okay, so I think I have all my pieces ready. I do believe so. Okay, so this is what I mean by here. So because we left this little piece of paper here, it's going to allow me to put glue on it and glue it behind my bowl instead of cutting it straight and then you're trying to put your glue along this edge. So just make sure if you're putting anything inside something, you know, no one's going to see that we have this here because it's going to be behind the bowl. So you just want to give yourself some glue area. So now my cherries are inside the bowl. And it's glued. And no one's going to be the wiser. Okay. So let's move that stuff over here. We'll let that dry. I'm also going to put the cupcake on the inside of the card. So while I have that, let's just get that glued in there as well. Glue, glue, glue. Cute little cupcake. This is such a fun set. So if you know somebody who bakes, this would be an awesome stamp set as a stocking stuffer, right? Because now is the time. This is the last month for celebration. So now is the time that you want to also think about, you know, if you're going to do presents for that crafter or that stamper or whatever on your list, now is the time you want to start doing that so that you get some extra celebration goodies. If you are thinking about becoming a demonstrator, it's even a better time because you're going to get that extra bundle in your starter kit. Then, you know, you got that crafter in your family, you can order from yourself at your own discount. So, we all love that demonstrator discount for sure. All right. So I'm just going to glue this on the bottom. I would love to have you join my team. Oh my gosh, we have such fun. We have girls all over the United States. And then we get together once a month on Zoom. And we have that coming up tomorrow, actually. Our monthly meeting is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Arizona time. And it's just through Zoom. So if you join before tomorrow, you'd be able to do the monthly meeting. All right. So then I also want to take some baker's. This is just the white baker's twine. Or baker's thread, whatever. Baker's twine. And I'm just going to wrap it around 2 times. Where's my scissors? My ribbon scissors. All right. And we are just going to tie a bow. Pretty little bow off to the corner. So I always have people will contact me after celebration's over or after a special's over. So I always try to remind you, like, while you're thinking of it, don't delay because you don't want to miss out on that awesome deal we have going on right now. The starter kit's always a good deal, but it's even better deal right now. Okay, so I'm just pulling my little tails like that. And then I'm just going to give it a little tug so it's kind of off to that side. All right, now I'm not going to trim these. I did cut it too long because I'm trying to be quick. So I'm not going to trim these till I'm done the card because then I might want to adjust it still. And then I've cut them away, right? And then I'm like, oh, darn, I wish I hadn't cut my tails because I wanted to adjust it a little bit more. Okay, so now we can start putting all our stuff together. And I am actually going to put this on the card because there's going to be so much dimension going on. It's just going to be easier to glue this while it's flat than when I get all the other pieces going. So since there's that ribbon back there, that twine, I am putting glue dots on my card just because it will hold a little better than if I use just the seal. Just because we've got this right here, this thread, which kind of stops this cardstock from touching this cardstock, right? So that glue dot has got a little bit of a thickness, so then it allows it to kind of go over that thread. All right, so we're just going to stick that on there like that. All right. I want my little greeting, and I'm just going to cut like that at a little bit of an angle, and we're going to put our greeting down here in the bottom. So I'm going to put dimensionals on there, and I'm just using the baby ones because this is the perfect, they are the perfect size for this little strip. And this is not quite half of an inch wide. So what is that? 3 dits on your ruler if you're a dit measurer. All right. So this is just going to go down here on the bottom. So cute. All right. So let's start to build our little kitchen scene. So we have our cutting board, and I want to just move that just a little bit. Hang on a minute. See, this is why we don't cut it, because I'm going to bring it over and tie it so it's more to the edge. So this allows me to fiddle fart with it because I didn't trim these tails. Because we can always trim it. We can't add to it. All right. Pull, pull, pull. Pull, pull. And this is kind of fun that you're using baker's twine, because I always have this thing. It was Granny's. It's in the kitchen, and it holds string that you would tie like around a roast or whatever. Okay, so we have our fun little cutting board, and I'm just going to put some dimensionals along the bottom here and along the top, and it's just going to straddle that string, the baker's twine. So I wanted this to look like wallpaper, and then this is like a table or a counter. All right. So we're going to put our cutting board there. All right. Then we're going to put a bowl here. So again, I'm going to put some dimensionals. So I'm just going to put them on here so I don't get them on this, because I want them down here. And I'm going to double stack them. I've talked about double stacking before, because we want it a little bit higher than the cutting board. So our little bowl right there. And then this bowl is going to go inside this bowl. But I'm only going to put one dimensional. I'm not going to stack them. So I put two, but I'm not stacking them. So it's just one layer. So then this bowl is going to go inside of that bowl right there, like that. So fun, right? Okay, so let's put our scale on. So our scale is going to go a little bit lower. It is going to overlap our cutting board a little bit. Where's my large ones? All right, so I'm going to use my bigger ones. Let's see. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. All right. And then up here. Now before I peel off the back, because it's still safe to mess around with, right? Because I've not peeled these off. Then I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to see if I want to raise it, if I want to stack it as well. So just kind of look at it, and I think it's good. I don't think I want to stack it anymore. So we're just going to do single. But as long as you don't peel those, you can play around with it. All right, I am going to bring it a little lower than my bowl so that it is actually closer to me. Okay, then we're going to put this little bowl on here. So same thing, put our little dimensionals on here, and I am going to double stack these because this is on top of our scale. So we need to double stack that just so it's not even with the bowl or with the scale. All right, that's going to go on there. Oh, look how fun. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. All right, so let's finish the card. I did do the inside, right? Yes, there's the inside. I do want to trim my thread because we are done, but I want to put a couple little embellishments, and these are the, let's see, here they are. These are the elegant faceted gems right here. And I want to use these ones here, and they look like, to me they look like a water droplet. So I'm going to put a few of those. So I'm just going to take a couple I'm going to take 2 little ones and a big one. And just kind of lay them around the card. It's going to add a little bit of a shine on the card. But there it is. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. So let me show you the one I've been looking at. I know I always have one off to the side. Usually. I don't always. Sometimes I'm doing a unique card. All right. So here's the one I was looking at. Very similar. Very similar. And then the inside. So super cute. Oh my gosh. So if you didn't do the class, I'm sorry, because it was a fun class, but you can, this stamp set is in the main catalog, and it is adorable. You really should give it a second look if you have not. And there's other things that I didn't even use out of it, right? So, and then that dial thing almost reminds me of the I Dream a Genie bottle for some reason. But, all right. So hopefully you thought that card was cute. And if you have any questions, just make sure you reach out to me. And I will see you Friday for my Dies shorts, 3 o'clock, same time, same channel. And till then, have a great rest of the day and a great Thursday. And I will see you Friday. All right? Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.